The audience laughed. It was the kind of laughter that doesn't just fill a room, it declares it owns it. Bright lights buzzed overhead, cameras rolled, and in the middle of it all, Eden Rivera sat quietly in a pale blue dress, her fingers resting softly on the silver star of David at her chest. She was the night's guest on a talk show known more for its sarcasm than sincerity. The host was sharp, beloved for her ability to dismantle guests with wit. She smiled now, like a cat about to pounce. "So, Eden," the host said, voice sugar slick, "you're transgender and religious?" Laughter burst from the crowd, quick and instinctual. The host chuckled with them, not cruelly, but confidently, as though she were voicing what everyone else was thinking. Eden didn't laugh. She smiled politely. She didn't shift in her seat. She didn't raise her voice. She simply looked at the host with the same calm she'd walked onto the stage with, the kind that isn't learned but earned. "I am," she said. "Both." That answer should have ended it, but the host leaned forward, one eyebrow raised. "Really? After all religion's done to people like you?" She gestured vaguely, as if people like you needed no clarification. The crowd was ready to laugh again, but something in Eden's silence made them hesitate. "I didn't choose faith because it was easy," Eden said slowly. "I chose it because it was the only thing that kept me alive." The laughter died. For a beat, the host didn't respond. Then she recovered, folding her hands on her desk with mock sincerity. "But surely you understand how contradictory that sounds, right? I mean, belief systems that say people like you are sinners, broken, unnatural. How do you square that with love?" Eden's thumb moved gently across the silver edge of her necklace. "People said I was broken before I ever heard a single prayer. The world told me I didn't belong long before any scripture did. But when I pray, I don't hear judgment. I hear silence. And sometimes," she said, looking right at the host, "silence is kinder than the noise we live in." The host blinked. It was the first time she'd been caught without a quip. Eden continued. "There were nights I slept on floors, nights I thought it would be better if I disappeared. I wasn't trying to be brave. I was trying to survive. And somewhere in that darkness, I started whispering to something I didn't even believe existed. I didn't ask to be changed, I just asked to be seen." The studio was quiet now, the kind of quiet that wraps around the body. "And one day," Eden said, "I realized I had survived things no one knew about. That my breath still came every morning, like a small miracle. That maybe God wasn't who I thought he was. Maybe he was softer. Maybe he looked like a mother's hands, or a child's forgiveness, or a body finally exhaling in its own truth." The host cleared her throat. "You do know what some people say about your kind, though, right? That you're confused. That your identity is a rebellion against nature, or God." Eden tilted her head, but her voice never wavered. "They can say what they want. I've met God, and she didn't flinch when I said my name." Gasps now. Not theatrical ones, but the kind people make when something they've never considered suddenly feels real. The host leaned back, arms crossed. Her smirk had faded. She looked smaller somehow, as if Eden's words had bent the air around her. "I used to pray too," she said, quieter. "When I was a kid, every night, I prayed to stop being scared. I prayed to stop feeling wrong." Eden waited. "But nothing happened," the host continued. "I stopped believing. I started laughing instead. It was easier." "I understand," Eden said. "Sometimes we mock what we miss." The host looked at her, something cracking behind her eyes. "You know, people talk about healing like it's this glorious linear thing, but healing isn't pretty. It's messy. It's relapsing. It's doubting. It's crying on a church pew at 2 a.m., not knowing if you're being watched by God or by your own guilt." She didn't know why she said it out loud. She hadn't planned to, but something about Eden's presence made it feel safe. "I was taught that faith meant certainty," the host added, "but all I've ever had is questions." "Then you're closer to faith than you think," Eden whispered. The audience was silent. A few people had tears running down their faces, not from tragedy, from recognition. Eden didn't press her point. She didn't try to convince anyone. She just let her truth hang in the space between them, not defensive, not afraid. "Faith isn't the absence of doubt," she said. "It's carrying your doubt like a wounded bird, gently enough not to kill it, and brave enough to let it rest in your hands." The host's voice cracked. I think maybe I owe a lot of people an apology, including myself. Eden smiled, not triumphantly, tenderly. You don't have to apologize to me, she said. Just don't keep laughing to keep yourself from crying. The show ended differently that night. No big send-off, no punchline. Just two women, one who had learned to believe again and one who never stopped. Later that week, a behind-the-scenes video leaked. A producer's voice could be heard before the segment aired. Push the God angle, make it uncomfortable. We want reactions. She's trans and religious, that's gold. The clip went viral, but not for the reasons the producers had hoped. What caught fire wasn't Eden's pain. It was her peace, her softness in the face of mockery, her refusal to perform rage, her insistence on stillness. Comment sections flooded with stories. I left the church because they told me my son was broken. I'm Muslim and trans. I thought I was alone. I don't believe in anything, but tonight, I wanted to. The host posted a video the next day. No makeup, no studio. Just her in her apartment, speaking directly into her phone. Last night, I met someone who reminded me that faith isn't weakness, that grace isn't submission, and that silence can be holy. She paused. I mocked what I didn't understand. And maybe I was never angry at God. I was angry he didn't make me feel seen. But Eden did. Eden never posted about the show. She didn't need to. One image appeared on her social media a few days later. Her necklace resting on a worn prayer book. No caption. It was shared over 3 million times. Sometimes the loudest revolutions begin in silence.